and pressed the button to lower the window. "Get your finger off the trigger now!" MacLeod looked at the gun as if seeing it for the first time. He slid his finger off the trigger, and Standing reached in and took the gun from him. "Where did you get this from?" he asked. "The armory." "Why?" "I told them I wanted to do some concealed carry exercises." "I mean, why did you put it to your head and pull the trigger?" said Standing. "I saw what you did. What the hell are you playing at?" "Sarge, it's not what it looks like," said MacLeod. "Bollocks! I saw you put it to your head and pull the trigger." "If I was serious about killing myself, I'd have put more rounds in." "What are you talking about, Bash?" MacLeod nodded at the gun. "Look for yourself." Standing clicked the cylinder release button and flicked out the cylinder. There was only one round chambered, and it would have gone off if the trigger had been pulled again. Standing shook his hand to flick the cylinder back into place and stuck the gun in his belt. "So what? You're playing some sick version of Russian roulette, is that it?" MacLeod grimaced. "You wouldn't understand." "Yeah? Well, I'm going to have to understand, because there's no way I'm going into combat with a man who has a death wish." MacLeod opened his mouth to speak, but then shook his head, clearly lost for words. "Get out of the car, Bash. We need to talk." "Just leave me alone, Sarge. This is none of your business." "Get out of the car now, or you can pack up your gear and go back to your unit." MacLeod glared at Standing. His jaw set tight. Then he nodded and climbed out. Standing took him along to the sergeant's mess, dropping off his gear on the way. The mess was almost empty, with a civilian barman in a white jacket standing behind the bar. Standing pointed MacLeod towards a corner table and asked the barman for a whiskey. "A good one," said Standing. "A single malt." The barman reached for a bottle of Lafroig. "Single or double?" Standing held out his hand. "The bottle, 2 glasses, and an ice bucket." The barman used a scoop to fill a stainless steel bucket with ice, and Standing carried everything over to the table. MacLeod stared through the window as Standing sat down opposite him. Standing had been in D Squadron with MacLeod for the best part of 6 months, and Standing knew a fair bit about the man's background. MacLeod had grown up in Muirhouse, one of the most deprived areas of the otherwise genteel city of Edinburgh. With an alcoholic mother and a father who had walked out when his son was still in nappies, it was almost inevitable that he would have drifted into crime. He joined the local street gang, and had stopped going to school by the time he was 13. He acquired a formidable reputation in fights with rival gangs, and by the age of 17 he already had a criminal record including 12 months in juvie, the Young Offenders Institution at Polmont near Falkirk, for assault. When he was again arrested after yet another street brawl, he was given a final warning by the magistrate to mend his ways or face a long custodial sentence if he appeared in court again. A few days later, he chanced on 2 soldiers setting up an army recruitment stand in the street. One of the soldiers had been in the Young Offenders Institution with MacLeod, and after being reassured that his criminal conviction was not a barrier to joining the army, he found himself signing up. His fighting skills and toughness were not in doubt, but his fitness levels were nowhere near the level required, making basic training the hardest thing he had ever done. But he gritted his teeth, toughed it out, and came through it near the top of his group. He joined the Paras, and then followed the well-trodden path to SAS selection. His endurance, determination, and guts were unbreakable. And although one SAS NCO expressed reservations about his temperament,